Blockchain Show is a podcast that demystifies cryptocurrencies and distributed ledger technology.
Boom. We're live. Episode 200. Welcome back, Steve.
Thank you. It's good to be back. It's been a while.
Indeed. I'm looking at this Ethereum 2 price,
and
it's the same as the Ethereum 1 price. What's going on there?
Well, it's kind of funny. Everybody has always been looking for the ETH killer, the Ethereum killer, the project that's going to spring up and take over Ethereum, whether it was EOS or Binance Chain or any of the other maybe dozen or so projects that we're going to take over the spot from Ethereum. And it turns out that Ethereum is going to upgrade itself to Ethereum 2. It's going to change a lot of things. It's going to change the way coming up in July. It'll have EIP 1559, which changes the way that the blocks, the miner bribe or the miner fee is addressed. So it'll, depending on whether the space in the block is half or more full, then it will take it'll set the price, the minimum price for a spot in the next block. And instead of that minimum price going to a miner, it'll be burned from the network. So that should increase the price of Ethereum a great deal. It'll possibly make Ethereum actually deflationary, where there's less, where there's more Ethereum being burned in each block than there are being created. So that's going to cause a pretty scarce, going to drive scarcity of Ether tokens. So, and then Ethereum will go to proof of stake. And that's kind of what Ethereum 2.0 is. It's the temporarily, while they're working on building out all the features of the new Ethereum, you can stake your Ethereum on the ETH2 or the node, and you can earn rewards. I think rewards right now are about 8% a year, and so that's why ETH2 is the same price, because it's going to be Ethereum. There won't be ETH1 and ETH2 and probably by the end of this year, but it could be 3 years. You never know with technology how long it's going to take. I expect ETH2 to go live, where you can trade your coins back and forth between the beacon chain and regular Ethereum without any sort of issue, and there'll just be one ETH. So that's why they're the same price. It's just staked Ethereum on the beacon chain.
I know Coinbase is going to offer staking from the app through their own wallets, but they're only offering 6%. So
yeah, so Coinbase, you can stake Ethereum right now on Coinbase. There's like a waiting list you have to sign up for. With solo staking, so if you stake on your own, you have to have at least 32 Ethereum and be pretty computer literate. You got to do command line interface and probably have to know Linux or Apple. Probably won't want to do it on a Windows computer. I suppose you could, but I don't think you'd want to. And so if you stake on Coinbase, they do charge a fee for that, and it's 25% of the reward. So if the reward is currently 8%, Coinbase takes 25%. That gives you a 6% return, which is still pretty good.
Oh yeah, especially if you compare it to like a modern day checking or savings account, or like parts of Germany where it's like negative return, which is hilarious. It's still a thing.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of cool. I've actually finally started using Coinbase within the last like 2 weeks, and it's actually kind of fun. I don't know why I was so resistant to it for so long. I guess I just had a bad association with exchanges. Early in the show, we talked about all the hacks, and, plus I also didn't ever have a lot of money to be investing. And then I just decided I'll just do like tiny bits of money. I'll just take 1% of whatever I make that day or that week, and if I lose it, I can deal with that. And so, some coins are really cheap right now still. Just been playing around. There's some other ones you can stake, like Cosmos and Algo.
Tezos.
Yeah, that's another one too. DAI.
You can stake DAI there?
Yeah, it's like only 2%, but it's yeah, like I said, it's just kind of fun. Maybe eventually I'll get up to $100 of trading, so you can get your kickback from years ago when I signed up with your link. I don't know if it's gonna retroactively work though.
It might.
But yeah, something I wish I would have done a long time ago. I've had other wallets, obviously, but
That $10 from 2016 in Bitcoin, what would that be worth now? That $10 would probably be like
ooh, a lot.
yeah.
Dude. Probably like hundreds.
I would
for
say
sure.
even 1,000.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, man. I should have done that years ago because the dollar would have bought a lot more back then too. Maybe, I don't know. People are afraid of inflation right now, so.
Yeah, it's going to be a shit show in America, probably the world. I mean, you just can't, in quotes, print that much money, and not expect the value of your dollar to go down. I mean, there's no way that everybody's pretending that everything's okay right now, but it's going to be pretty bad out there for USD.
Yeah, what if crypto's the thing that saves us, and then you're just going to be in the background all along saying like, "I told you so." You all should have listened to me.
Nah, I don't have that type of attitude.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, it's getting easier and easier. These people like PayPal and Robinhood and even like Coinstar lets you buy Bitcoin now. So, granted, you don't actually like own your keys.
I think on Coinstar you get your own keys.
Oh, that's cool.
But Robinhood, no. And what was the other one you mentioned?
PayPal,
no. But I believe PayPal will soon allow you to. I think PayPal is it PayPal or Robinhood that will soon allow you to do that. There's probably both of them have it in the works. I would imagine to have their own.
It's a Cash App.
There's Cash App as well, right? But that one you currently have your own keys as well. You can withdraw it to your own wallet. However, it's a relatively small limit per day. I can't remember if it's 1,000 or 10,000, but it's relatively small. I mean, it's not incredibly small, but it's $1,000 in crypto is not a ton.
Right.
Banks are jumping on board. I think all these banks are now allowing their high net worth individual clients to buy this. They're working with NYDIG. I don't know if that's how you pronounce their company, but a digital investment group out of New York that are buying and storing, custodians of cryptocurrency for people. There's just there are so many easy ways to get involved in crypto that there weren't years ago. You can get in your 401k if you have Grayscale products. It's a bit of a discount right now in Grayscale, so it's a little better purchase. You can find a way to purchase GBTC or ETH. You're actually buying more Ethereum than what you're spending. So it's kind of a good buy right now. And for a long time, it was 20% premiums on those. So many places to buy crypto now. It's incredibly easy to get exposure to the swings of it. Still not a ton of places that let you easily purchase crypto that's under control, but
yeah, and we got to talk about the techno king Elon Musk allowing people to buy in crypto a Tesla car.
And yeah, I think you can buy it in Bitcoin now and Dogecoin.
Oh, did he go through with Doge?
I think he did say you can buy with Doge now.
That's incredible.
There was a YouTuber, I forget who it was, but the YouTuber announced that he would buy, I think it was 144 Teslas if within the next 30 days. This is about 2 weeks ago. He allowed people to buy with ETH. He has not responded to that yet. So it's still Bitcoin and Doge. It's funny that he's promoting Doge.
Yeah, man, he's really on board. Must have a lot at stake there. Plenty of references on his SNL appearance. That was a funny episode. I don't know if you watched it. There was one skit with Chad on Mars that made me laugh harder than I've laughed at SNL in like 10 years. So that's... Yeah,
I like the Chad skit on Mars, and I like the Wario skit.
Yeah. It took me a minute. I didn't realize that Elon Musk was Wario.
What did you think about him calling Dogecoin a hustle at the end? Is that good for Doge or bad for? I mean,
clearly I think it was
I don't
bad
know.
because the price dropped. I was looking at it live while he was doing it. I was like, oh, it's actually going down. Interesting. But I don't know. It just seems like a writer wrote that line, and he just kind of went along with it because he also was, saying that he used to be anti-mask and now he's not. I was like, I wonder if he really believes that, or if he did really come around on the mask issue. It's how much is this authentically Elon? So I don't really know. It's a good question. He was pretty awkward with his mom.
Yeah,
That was pretty apparent, but that's got to be a hard gig. And I didn't know if he was serious, if he has Asperger's.
I would assume so. He definitely plays the part.
I was like, oh, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, Doge, man. I remember we talked about that a long time ago, and we laughed, and now others are laughing all the way to the bank.
I want to go back to Elon really quick because something just happened. He stopped accepting Bitcoin, citing environmental concerns. I guess that makes a little sense if you're trying to sell a car that is working on a battery and you only take a proof of work coin, which is pretty. It's less intensive than banks are as far as energy usage, but it's not like everybody's using renewable energy to mine cryptocurrency and verify these transactions. When ETH goes to proof of stake, that'll be a little better for them, or any proof of stake coins that exist now. They're a little better environmentally, but I don't think that, for normal people, for people who aren't trying to sell environmentally sound cars, it should be a concern. But for his company, I think it's kind of a concern, and looks like he agrees, or he caved and no longer accepts Bitcoin. So maybe he wasn't selling me as well.
Yeah. I didn't think about that, because if it's coming from oil, non-renewable sources, that could be bad for PR. So makes sense.
It's losing a lot of, it's not losing ground, but compared to everything else these past couple of months, it is stagnant. I don't expect that to stay that way. I think Bitcoin is going to end the year between $100,000 and $300,000 somewhere. So it's not like it's a bad investment, but compared to, Dogecoin right now, but compared to pick any coin you want is going to probably do better. Maybe.
I hear you, man. I think it's almost like people quit putting a lot of money towards Bitcoin and wanted to start diversify. Because for a while I would notice that prices of coins would go up and down kind of with Bitcoin, but now that's not necessarily the case. And granted, there's a lot of coins that I don't follow, so don't listen to me, people.
It's impossible to keep up. There's tens of thousands of coins now.
It's ridiculous. There's like a Shiba Inu coin now.
Yeah, that one. I don't know. I don't know if that one has any value whatsoever.
That's like when you go to Walmart and as a kid, and there's like off-brand shoes that are trying to be like Nikes or something. Try to fool your parents.
I guess they did like a coin drop? What do they call it? An airdrop of the coin, and some of them went to Vitalik's wallet, and so he donated them all to Indian COVID relief fund, or COVID relief fund in India, or a billion worth of it or something.
Yeah, because even that went up like 400% one time when I looked at it, like a millionth of one token or $1. But if you just buy early, that's because I remember when I converted the Dogecoin, it was like 4 cents, and I thought, well, it's a joke. It's like, it's funny. I'm just gonna buy some. Fuck it. And then Sarah was showing me something on a browser, and she's like, yeah, it's like 13, 17 cents. I was like, what? You gotta be kidding me. And then it went up and up.
I always had a soft spot in my heart for Doge. I like what they were doing when they first came out years ago, just kind of having a fun approach to crypto. It's a very approachable crypto, but I don't know. I think I'm not really sure how much room that coin has to run here. It could get up to like 250. It could also go back down to 5 cents. I don't know if Elon keeps pumping it. If you can accept Doge, you can buy a Tesla with Doge, but not with Bitcoin. If he pays for his rocket to Mars with Doge, it can go pretty high. But I need something that has a little more substance to it than just a few billionaires pumping it. Cuban also is into Doge.
Huh.
Or
Yeah.
Cuban.
It's interesting, man. I remember we were talking about money on Yap and just American dollars and just money in general. And these guys started like a joke, it became a meme coin, but now there's so much hype around it that people are assigning value to it, and it's actually becoming kind of like a currency. Definitely an asset. That SNL update that we were just talking about, the guy pulls out $1. He's like, so here's $1. Like, how does it compare to this? And Elon said something to the effect of like, yeah, it's about the same. And it's like, yeah, it really is. I mean, what's the difference?
I think I would take Doge over $1.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah.
But there's also that thing that I kind of grew to really dislike about this whole space was, people just speculating on price. And like, for some people, that's literally all they know about it.
There's a lot of people like that, and
well, yeah, and that's what kind of made me mad about myself. It's like, what was I like too? Did I have like an ego problem, or was I too pure that I was like, I'm not just gonna buy stuff just to make money. I was like, if I get any tokens, I want to like get something I believe in and get it, do it right, get a wallet, maybe set up some nodes, and then the result was I just never did it because I didn't have the time, and I just wish I would have just slowly over the years just. If a guest comes on the show and they're talking about stellar lumens, I'll be like, yeah, okay. I like what they were talking about. I'll just get some of those. They're cheap.
Yeah, I like Stellar. Stellar's gone up quite a bit too now.
Mm-hmm.
Stellar's a good one. I don't think that you should not purchase crypto just because it's going to make you money, but it's something that can really revolutionize the world. So I think it's the fact that you can get rich from it is exciting and great. It's more of a get rich slowly and buying in coins and projects that you think add value to the world. It depends on what you're going after, but
mm-hmm.
I think that there's a lot of coins that have a monetary reward as well as a societal award. People are using Bitcoin in countries doing things that are perhaps wrongly illegal in that country, whether it's like sex worker or a female coder in India or whatever sort of oppressive regime that they're in. I think that crypto can help those people, and they're all pretty good at doing that type of stuff. So I think the fact that you can get rich from it shouldn't dissuade you from investing in these coins. I just think there's a lot more there. There's a lot more substance.
Yeah. No, yeah, you're totally right. I think there's a lot of good projects out there, and it's fun to read about them too. And there's nothing wrong with profiting off of the success of something that you support. It's cool. There's a lot of cool projects out there. I'm sure not all of them will work, but.
And so that's what held you back all those years ago?
Well, that and being poor. I mean, let's not beat around the bush. If I had a bunch of money, I probably would have been all about it.
How much of it was you didn't just actually believe in this stuff?
I think most of it comes from ignorance. It wasn't I didn't believe in it. I mean, obviously, I kept the show going for so long because I thought there was something really important going on. And even though I couldn't wrap my mind around it, I knew that the guests were passionate. I knew that you knew what you were talking about. I didn't have the technical know-how to just commit, I guess, there's like a lot of it was fear, fear of losing money because, I had bills to pay. The podcast cost money, and it's like, but the irony is if I had just committed and, put 1% of everything I made into the different projects, even just like the people that came on the show and that I liked what they're talking about, or just like, Ethereum, like that's the only one I really needed to, because I knew I liked Ethereum from the beginning. It's at like over $4,000 now. Like,
yeah,
I wouldn't have any concerns around money right now. I could just do the podcast full time. We could be doing an episode a day. We could have like multiple spinoffs. So I think it was like fear of losing money, my own ignorance, and not trusting my intuition. And
So now, is it more that you just accepted it, or have you come to a really good technological understanding of what's going on here?
I think the understanding is getting better. The hilarious thing is, like, it didn't really take much technical know-how. Like, all I would have had to do is just follow through with Coinbase. Like, that's really all it would have taken. It would have been cool to play around with MetaMask more and like stake some of these other tokens, gotten involved. Because it's I've been playing around with Scale Labs token on MetaMask.
Okay.
It's mainly just so I can learn how to use it.
You initially said that there was some sort of technological ignorance on your part. I didn't know if you have learned the technology, and it seems like you have if you're talking about Scale and using MetaMask and stuff. And I don't think you even need to get that far into it. But did like the lessons of the Isle of Yap click in, or was it just like this has been, for some people it's just like bubbles don't last fucking 10 years or 12 years or whatever it is now, right? This isn't a fad. This isn't going away. It's not a bubble anymore. You kind of accept it that way. There's some people who do that. So I'm just curious as to your thoughts on what do you think the major factors are in your switch from not being interested in owning the stuff to being interested in owning it.
I think a big part of it's just kind of like maturing also. Going through some experiences where I realize I don't want to have any more regrets, and not listening to other people, people who would tell me, don't buy into this. It's like you said, it's a bubble, or because I wanted to go all in years ago, pretty much right from the beginning, but I just never financially wanted to, like, I wouldn't even get into an investing, like traditional investing, because I was like, I can't afford it, which that's a terrible outlook to have. And I think maybe I just kind of hid behind the lack of knowledge, because this stuff's confusing even for someone who's been doing a podcast on it and interviewing, plenty of experts. A lot of people have been learning with me. So, I'm not ashamed to admit it's taken me like 5 years to get some of these things. The basics, yeah, it's obvious. I get a lot of the basics, but I wanted to understand things like the people who knew what they were talking about understood it. I didn't want to get involved with a project that, was going to go to zero. I wanted to like read about it and follow it. And for whatever reason, I was just like, after editing the podcast and publishing it, it's a lot of work. So I was just kind of burned out. Now I'm finally like, it's all clicking, if that makes sense. It's all kind of like, yeah, this one's cool. I like this one. I'm going to just go with my gut here. If I lose the money, then, big deal. I'll quit drinking Dr. Pepper. It's probably bad for me anyways. So it's not like I'm going to like put all of my money into it, because I wouldn't recommend anybody does that unless, they have a lot of money that they can lose. So I don't know if that answers your question. I feel like I'm not really doing a good job answering that.
No, I think it did. I had a few follow-up questions, but I forget what they were. You mentioned a coin that's going to zero. Have you heard of Safemoon?
I've heard of Moon, but not Safemoon.
Safemoon. I don't know how. I don't know why, but this coin is popular now. So it's like a coin that you earn. They take 10% of each transaction, and 5% goes to a liquidity pool, and 5% goes to the holders. So if you have Safemoon, you get a percentage of every transaction. It's kind of, it's not exactly a pyramid scheme, but it's really, it's like, it's almost the literal definition of a pyramid scheme. It's not the literal definition, but it seems like it's clearly in that vein, right? There's no use for it. There's nothing interesting about this coin, but it's got some people marketing it, and it's got some Twitter users pumping it, and it's like, it's popular now, right? Like, there's articles, should I buy Doge or should I buy Safemoon? And I have no idea if this coin is going to zero or if it's going to be like the next meme coin. I don't know, but so that one springs up to mind when you say, is this coin going to zero? There's a bunch of those type of coins that start off, they get a really big pump in the beginning, and then the early investors pull out all their money and it goes to zero. Like Underdog was one of them. There's other ones you can find, and so I mean, Safemoon could do that, or it could be a pretty interesting, lucrative coin for people to buy. I'm not buying Safemoon, but I do know people who did.
Yeah, that sounds like a hustle, for real.
That one is definitely a hustle, and I think Dogecoin is a hustle as well now. Most of the fun that existed years ago is no longer around, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's no cap, and more are created every day. So
yeah, which I thought was great when they initially announced that. It was just like, okay, here's something that will always stay cheap. It'll always be fun. People can have it and spend it, and it'll be like, a currency that's probably still better than the dollar, right? Because the dollar prints more than Dogecoin does, percentage wise, or loses its value. But Doge just held its value over the years, and then it just skyrocketed. I mean, it's the best crypto year to date, I think. It's the best crypto since 2016, I think, percentage wise, which it's nuts to think about, but that's the world we live in,
Yeah, it says a lot about the space too, because I mean, we knew from the beginning that there's just a couple guys doing a joke, and for a lot of people, it's their introduction into cryptocurrency now, which is wild. I heard a story about a guy who put his life savings in, and now he's a millionaire. And it's like, okay, cool. Good for you, man. But you don't hear stories about people who put in thousands of dollars and then they lost it all on other coins. Those don't really make the news on Reddit and stuff like that as much.
Yeah, I think that makes the news too, though. You see people doing too much leverage, or any leverage, right? Where they have pretty big leverage plays on something, and they get liquidated and lose millions of dollars. So that happens too. You also hear about people, keep money in like MT Gox or Mount Gox or whatever, where they just kind of were spending the money that was deposited as opposed to keeping their depositors' money safe. There's a Canadian exchange where the guy just disappeared, I guess. There's a lot of exchange. I guess the Turkey exchanges kind of stole all their funds when they were trying to make it illegal recently. I mean, exchanges are not a great place to keep your crypto.
No.
If you have a sizable amount.
No, yeah, that was a big part of my hesitancy. And after seeing Sarah lose all of her ETH, I was also a little hesitant to take it on my own. I mean, I had like the Edge wallet. I still have that one. Yeah. I had Jax, but that, I don't know what the fuck happened to Jax. Changed into like Jax Liberty or something like that. But
right.
I might reactivate that wallet, see if there's anything in there. But
might be something. Yeah, it's weird how it's like, if you can write down 12 words on a piece of paper and then keep that piece of paper safe, you're golden, right? But doing that, it's just it seems so weird to be like, oh, so these 12 words will unlock all my money? Basically, yeah. And so for a lot of people, maybe exchanges are better. You have a public company. Coinbase went public, obviously, since last time we talked, and that shot up and has gone down quite a bit. But it's still a $50 billion evaluation, which is, I mean, that's a lot of money for what they're offering. But for some people, I think it's fine if you think that your custodian is going to do a better job of keeping your coin safe than you are. I don't have a ton of issue. I would say be at least vigilant if you hear people having withdrawal issues on your exchange. There's always like a blip or two before it collapses where they have a little bit of trouble fulfilling withdrawals. I would then, get out of that exchange before it collapses. You get a little bit of a warning sign typically, or if you're in a country where the government is likely to make it illegal, like Turkey, you're going to be it's going to be pretty tough there. But if you're in a company like America, you can get on Coinbase or Gemini or Kraken or any of these other ones. Maybe not Binance US. I don't know. Maybe they're safe enough. I don't know. I would think that those top three would be fairly safe for US people who have trouble securing their being their own bank. But that's one of the cool benefits of this technology. It's that you have, if you can secure your wallet and secure those words, nobody can take that from you. If you're able to keep that. So that's amazing. That's not the first time government has come and taken people's gold or taking people's money. I mean, they do it very often, but they can't do that with crypto. So, if they want to target you and make your life hard, if you have crypto, it makes it much harder for them to do that. But it's, then the impetus is on you to make sure you're securing that. And that's what I think, people should do, is they should be in control of their money and secure their wallets. And this stuff can go up quite a big deal. So even a small amount could be worth a large amount in 10 years. I don't know how much longer that's going to continue. I don't think this is the end, but there's probably not too many more, 10Xs involved. One, maybe two. I don't know. But it should probably still, for a very long time, outpace inflation. So, probably forever, it'll be a better investment than, holding cash in a savings account. So yeah, there's some pretty big opportunities for investment here.
And it's not that hard to back up the wallet. That's another thing that I've been kind of angry at myself for. I mean, there's so many, we've talked about all the ways, like paper wallets, hardware wallets, web-based wallets. There's like mobile ones, desktop. Get a safe, write it down on a piece of paper. Or some people like to put them on the cloud. That makes me a little nervous. I guess if you have a secure encrypted.
Yeah, you probably don't want to keep it on the cloud. You definitely want to have
I believe that one. When I read that, I was like, I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't know if you use like Proton Mail. They have like a Proton Drive.
Oh, okay.
Supposedly pretty solid, but even then, somebody could still hack your username and password. So I'd be interested to hear some people's methods for, like memorization or how people are creative with their 12-word keys.
You put on a steel plate. You make like little stamps, and you like pound it with a hammer. You etch your words into a steel plate, and that way it's waterproof and fireproof.
Yeah, it's a good idea, man. Or do like the Da Vinci Code in your house to have a bunch of weird symbols everywhere that you can put together.
One of the interesting ones that I thought Sarah could do, because she's such a good artist, is actually like make like a picture, a drawing, that contains her 12 words, so that only she knows which 12 words or whatever in the artwork. But I don't know. I mean, actually doing that that's certainly one of those things that's way easier to say than do.
Yeah, that's a good idea though. Yeah, especially if you can like create your 12 words. I don't know if they let you do that yet.
I suppose you could. You'd probably leave yourself open to attacks depending on how you chose your 12 words. But I mean, typically you want to generate a random address. That's kind of what makes this whole thing secure, is using randomness, so that you're just picking a number out of thin air. Versus, I'm going to pick my 12 favorite words, right? Then somebody's like, oh, I'll just, search through everybody's 50 favorite words and generate all those addresses and try to see if I can't find any collisions with what people have chosen. So if you could come up with a method for choosing your own 12 words that were succinct. They have like brain wallets too, which have been kind of proven to be insecure. People have done things where they have like grab the first word, the first sentence of a book, and use that and put that on the blockchain, and it takes minutes to a month for somebody who is running a program that's sweeping the blockchain for those type of addresses and stealing the money. So yeah, so that type of stuff, unless you come up with something that's actually randomizing those words, is going to be pretty difficult to do. Not impossible, but
I wonder if in the future we're going to look back and kind of laugh at the different methods of backing things up, or if it's going to be the same. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would imagine there's got to be. I think that possibly there'll be a lot more people doing, multi-sig, where you have like 2 or 3 or something with like a master key that's shared. Because people will lose passwords and whatever, and they need to have a way to get at their private keys, but prevent their company from getting at it. So I think that there definitely will be a better solution where it's a little more user error tolerant than it is now. And, maybe right now Coinbase is the best option for people who are going to make errors, or us, or a US approved exchange like Gemini or Kraken or something.
Yeah, there's a lot now. One thing that's kind of cool about Coinbase is they actually, they have their own wallet. I don't know if you've seen that app, and you can send your funds to your wallet pretty easily from the Coinbase app. I don't know if you can stake your coins from their wallet app, but I was wondering if you know about that, or what your take on that is, because Coinbase is obviously an easy way to buy the coins, but if you transfer them to the Coinbase Wallet app, are you making things much more secure, or are you better off just leaving it on the exchange?
Well, you're making things much more secure from somebody who's going after Coinbase. You're making it less secure for your own user error.
Yeah.
So that would be the trade-off. I don't know if they have any fail safes in there where Coinbase can actually. I mean, I doubt that they would be able to. As far as staking goes, for something like Ethereum, you wouldn't be able to stake from the wallet, but it's possible the other coins, Tezos or Algorand or Cosmos, or you said DAI, might be, but I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. It's interesting because that's the one that it's been around. I don't know if it's the longest, but definitely in my consciousness. And it's almost like a stamp of approval when a coin gets listed on Coinbase. And now that they're super regulated, I think people have a lot more faith in them.
Yeah. You should put a referral link in the show again. In the show notes. I think we do, what do you do? $10 for them and $10 for us if they purchase over 100.
Yeah. And I think it's all crypto. It doesn't have to be Bitcoin anymore. Or maybe it was always that way.
It was always any crypto.
Yeah. So, that's a great time if people want to stake Ethereum, put $100 there.
Good way to help the show. Good way to get an extra $10 if you want to throw, want to try out Coinbase. I imagine most of our listeners already have an account, but there's probably some that don't.
Yeah. No, yeah, let's do that. And we'll get that basic attention token thing ironed out so I can, unless it already is, I don't know, that if people have BAT tokens they wouldn't mind parting with, I think you can set up like a monthly reoccurring contribution. And with the BAT token being, over $1 now, it's definitely helps us out. It's fun to talk again. I miss doing this more often. I think 200 episodes. I've learned a lot.
Yeah, congratulations. You did it all, man.
Well, no, I just did like the technical audio stuff mostly. Lately, I've had to get some interviewing chops, which is always a challenge. But
I've listened to a few of them. You're getting good.
Well, thanks. I had to admit my own ignorance, and I think the audience is forgiven me for that. There was a couple episodes. I think we've put out like 102 or 103. We did like a couple of the Ethereum show trial run things. Those are cool.
Oh yeah,
fun to try something new. And then when you finally had enough. I was like, oh man, Steve was doing a lot. This is hard. Like, it's not easy to keep a show going or to keep an interview, a person that you're interviewing engaged and try to stay relevant and keep on top of what's going on. I mean, every day there's changes happening. I mean, that makes it, ripe with stuff to talk about, but it's also like, I hope I don't say something that makes me sound dumb. That's what's going on in my mind.
I say dumb shit all the time on the show. It was hard to listen to myself a lot of the times too, because I hear the stuff that I said wrong and I just misspoke or whatever. I didn't think it through because I'm just, I'm not writing this stuff out in advance. I'm just talking. So
yeah, we don't have like a team of producers and, there's not like, an audio engineer, a sound designer, and like a mastering engineer. Like, it's all, it's like you and me and our partners for a while.
Yeah.
Like
for a while, yeah.
Sarah started to do artwork again. So I'm going to try to get her set up with the technology so she can start doing that again. She used to do it on her phone, but her phone crapped out. So
does she still have the phone or no?
She does. Yeah. She still has the phone, but it doesn't turn on. And I was like, it might be worth it just to take it into Apple and see if they can, turn it on. But I highly doubt she's going to get into that Jack's wallet.
I don't know.
Man, that's another thing I regret was losing our smart contract. I mean, I doubt it's anything anybody would contribute to now, but it might be something that is worth resurrecting in the future because I thought that was a really cool thing. We talked about it on the podcast, and then you did it, and then people used it, and it worked, and then Sarah lost it.
I think I told you a little bit, but it was a year ago or so, a little over a year ago. Brendan Bradley, kind of like an independent filmmaker, has some YouTube stuff up, reached out to me because he came across that donation contract, right? And he wanted to sell his new movie using a advanced smart contract based off of that little donation contract. Because apparently it's one of those things that a lot of people are interested in. There isn't, nobody's really built it out. I had a very simple one, but he wanted to do it on BitTorrent and, have people pay for his movie in BitTorrent. And then the splitter contract would then split those funds amongst the actors and the producers and everybody involved in the show. And it's a really cool idea, but I didn't really have the time to go into it. I'm not really a huge fan of Tron, but had he done it on Ethereum, I might have been a little more interested in it. But I don't know. I thought that was cool.
Thank you for listening to the Blockchain Show.